Anger is a reaction, not a requirement. Most people believe that when someone disrespects them, disagrees with them, or frustrates them, anger is automatic. But the truth is, anger is not a requirement. It's a reaction, and every reaction is a choice. Just like you can choose to laugh, stay silent, or walk away, you can also choose not to get angry. Yes, it might not be easy at first, but once you understand this truth, you gain real control over your emotional life. Anger often feels powerful, but in reality, it takes away your power. It makes you reactive instead of responsive. It makes you say things you don't mean and do things you later regret. And it never really fixes the problem. It usually makes it worse. By learning to pause and observe your emotional state before reacting, you create a space between what happened and how you choose to respond. That space is where your freedom lives. It's where you grow mentally and emotionally. Ask yourself, is this worth disturbing my peace? Can I see this differently? What would staying calm say about me? People who understand that anger is optional develop inner strength, clarity, and calmness. They stop being controlled by external events and start living with intention. Remember, you can't control everything that happens, but you can always control how you respond. And when you stop reacting in anger, you don't become weak, you become wise. True strength is staying calm when the world tries to shake you. Anger is a reflex. Peace is a skill. Pause before you react. One of the most powerful things you can do when you feel triggered, frustrated, or emotionally overwhelmed is to simply pause. Yes, just a few seconds of silence between the situation and your response can change everything. This pause is not weakness. It's wisdom. It's the space where self-control is born and regret is avoided. When something happens that bothers you, maybe someone speaks harshly, something unexpected occurs, or plans fall apart, your natural instinct might be to react instantly. But instant reactions often come from emotion, not reflection. And emotional reactions often lead to outcomes you later wish you handled differently. By choosing to pause, you give yourself a chance to breathe, to observe, and to process. In that small moment, you can ask yourself, what's really going on here? Is this worth disturbing my peace? How do I want to be remembered in this moment? That pause helps you act with intention, not impulse. You move from being reactive to being responsive. There's a big difference between the two. Reacting is automatic. Responding is thoughtful. Reacting adds fuel to fire. Responding can calm everything down. The pause also allows your emotions to settle. Studies show that emotions like anger peak quickly, but they also pass quickly if you don't keep feeding them. Pausing lets the emotional wave pass without pulling you under. Remember, the strongest person is not the loudest, but the one who knows when to stay silent. A pause is small on the outside, but massive on the inside. It's a moment that can save relationships, reputations, and peace of mind. Observe. Don't absorb. One of the biggest mistakes we make when dealing with difficult situations or people is that we absorb everything, their words, their energy, their negativity, and let it affect our peace of mind. But there's a better way. Observe. Don't absorb. Think of yourself like a mirror. A mirror reflects everything, but it holds on to nothing. When someone is negative, rude, or unfair, you don't have to carry their energy inside you. You can simply notice it, understand where it's coming from, and let it pass without letting it become part of you. Observing means you are aware. You see what's happening, but you don't react emotionally. You stay grounded, calm, and present. You don't let their mood decide yours. Most of the time, people project their own stress, fears, or frustrations onto others. If you absorb that, you make it yours, and that's unfair to your inner peace. But if you observe it, You stay in control. Ask yourself, is this really about me? Or is it about them? Do I need to carry this with me all day? What happens if I just notice and let go? When you train your mind to observe instead of absorb, you build emotional strength. You stop giving away your calm every time someone else is losing. Not everything deserves your reaction. Not every comment needs your energy. Learn to be the one who can see chaos, but not become part of it. Remember, your peace is too valuable to give away. For free. Label the emotion of the most effective ways to take control of your emotions is to label them. It sounds simple, but it's a powerful psychological technique. Instead of saying I'm angry or I'm upset, try saying I'm feeling anger. There's a big difference between being the emotion and feeling the emotion. When you say I'm angry, you are identifying yourself as the emotion, you become it. But when you say I'm feeling angry, you create distance. That distance gives you the power to manage it. Labeling the emotion allows your brain to move from emotional reaction to logical observation. This process is called affect labeling in psychology. Studies show that when you name what you're feeling, the intensity of that emotion often decreases. It's like shining a light in a dark room. Suddenly, what felt overwhelming becomes easier to understand and handle. Next time you feel overwhelmed, pause and ask yourself, what exactly am I feeling right now? Is it frustration, sadness, fear, stress, or something else? Where is this emotion coming from? By naming the feeling, you stop it from controlling you. You take the steering wheel back. Also, labeling helps you respond instead of react. You might discover that what you thought was anger is actually hurt, or that what felt like frustration is really fatigue. And when you understand the root, you can treat the real issue, not just the surface reaction. Remember, emotions are like clouds. They pass, but you are the sky. Labeling the cloud helps you let it go. You are not your emotions. It's easy to forget that emotions are temporary visitors, not permanent residents. Just because you feel anger, sadness, or frustration doesn't mean that's who you are. You are not your emotions. You are the one who experiences them, not the emotion itself. Think of your emotions like waves in the ocean. They rise, they crash, and they pass. But you are the ocean, deep, steady, and vast. The wave doesn't define the ocean, and neither should a passing feeling define you. When we believe that I am angry or I am sad, we give our emotions too much power. We attach our identity to them. But emotions are signals, not definitions. They tell us something is happening inside, but they don't control who we are unless we let them. Here's the truth. You can feel angry and still act calmly. You can feel hurt and still respond with grace. You can feel disappointed and still choose hope. By realizing that emotions are separate from your identity, you gain the power to manage them instead of being managed by them. Ask yourself in any difficult moment, what am I feeling right now? Can I allow this emotion without becoming it? What would my best self choose in this moment? You can feel deeply, but still remain centered. True emotional mastery doesn't mean you never feel strong emotions. It means you know how to feel them without letting them define you or drive your behavior. Remember, your emotions are part of your experience, not the author of your story. Change the meaning, change the feeling. How we interpret a situation often matters more than the situation itself. Two people can go through the same experience and feel completely different emotions. Why? Because each of them gave it a different meaning. The moment something happens, your mind tries to understand. What does this mean for me? And your answer, whether conscious or not, determines your emotional response. For example, if someone ignores your message, you might instantly feel upset or rejected. But what if, instead, you think, maybe they're busy? Maybe they didn't see it yet. Suddenly, the feeling changes. The truth is, we don't always control what happens, but we always have control over the meaning we attach to it. Changing the meaning doesn't mean pretending something didn't happen. It means choosing an interpretation that protects your peace rather than destroys it. Let's say you make a mistake. You can tell yourself, "I'm a failure," which leads to shame and discouragement. Or this is a chance to learn, which leads to growth and calm. Your feelings follow your focus, and your focus is shaped by meaning. Ask yourself in emotional moments, is there another way to see this? What story am I telling myself right now? Is this story helping me or hurting me? When you shift the meaning, you shift the power. When you shift the power, you shift your peace. You're not lying to yourself. You're choosing a lens that keeps you grounded and strong. Remember, the event doesn't hurt you. Your interpretation does. Change the meaning, and you'll change how you feel. Use deep breathing to rest when emotions rise. Your body reacts. Your heart beats faster, your muscles tense up, and your thoughts race. In that moment, it can feel impossible to stay calm. But there's one simple, powerful tool that's always with you: your breath. Deep, intentional breathing sends a signal to your brain. I am safe. It shifts you from a reactive state, fight or flight, to a calm state, rest and reset. Within seconds, your heart rate slows down, your muscles relax, and your mind begins to clear. This is not just spiritual, it's biological. When you breathe deeply, especially from your diaphragm belly, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for calming the body and regulating emotions. Here's a simple method called the 4-4-4 technique. Inhale.